What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to give an update on Spider-Man 2. Insomniac Games did this last night, and it made quite a few people very happy. Now, it's nothing massive, it's nothing actually new, but it's just reaffirming, what they've said before, which I guess is still news nowadays. So, basically, people were talking about how they're getting worried about this game, and, we've seen that on YouTube, we've seen it on Twitter, but, when it was directed to them, they said, don't be worried. We're making good progress, and it's still slated for 2023. Showing games takes time, effort, resources, and coordination. And that was the end of the tweet. So again, nothing too gigantic, but to be fair, it has been over a full year since we saw it, and we had that end of the trailer that did say 2023, but because, Sony doesn't want to do a showcase or isn't going to do a showcase or whatever, we haven't seen this game in a while, so it is good, and I've talked about this a lot, just to kind of come back, a year later, talk about the game a little bit. Now, I would like a little bit more than this, but if this is all we get, at least they, a year later, are still confident, right? That's the biggest thing to me, is that it doesn't seem like much has changed in 1 year. It's still making good progress. It's still slated for 2023. And now I tweeted, I still think this is November. I think, honestly, even though they do sound pretty confident, and they have been confident now for over a year, I do think this game is going to be one of those games, maybe like a God of War Ragnarok, where if it was supposed to come out earlier, maybe it gets pushed, and then eventually it's at the very end of when it can come out, and you put it out. So I guess what I mean by that is I think Spider-Man 2 makes more sense to come out in September, which would be, an anniversary of sort, or, around the same period of time that the first game came out back in 2018. And then October makes some sense as well. November is the latest, right? It would literally be the God of War Ragnarok of next year. It would come out, mid-November, and you really can't push it any further than that, except for, I guess, early December, and that's kind of it before it would get pushed into 2024. So that's been my prediction for a long time. This tweet didn't, change that prediction. I've just kind of always thought that this is a very, very end of 2023 thing. But also, final thing to that last part, it's important to remember, and people do say this, but just in case maybe you guys don't know, it does actually take away from the development of the game to do any kind of media presentation for the game. So whenever you see a trailer, whenever you see God of War Ragnarok just had that 10-minute where they sat down and talked about the story, that actively takes away from people making the game. It always does, because it literally pulls resources away, because you got to make the trailers, you got to coordinate everything for these interviews. So I'm not saying never do those things, because they're important so we can see the game, but it is important to remember that every time we see the game, they're taking away from the development of the actual game to do that stuff. So that's just important to kind of remember. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.